Hey beautiful souls, Olivia here, and today I want to share something really close to my heart, a memory that recently resurfaced during my mindset and energy integration work. I don't usually dwell on the past, I believe in being present, but I have learned that when old wounds or memories return, they're not here to punish us, they're here to remind us of how far we've come. They're portals of reflection and learnings, invitations to reclaim power we may not have realised we gave away. And this week I was shown a vivid memory of an abusive relationship I was in during a particularly tender stage of my spiritual development. At the time, it didn't seem like abuse. And that's the thing about emotional, energetic, and psychological manipulation. It's subtle and it's slippery. It doesn't leave battered and bruising on your skin, but it weighs down your soul. And it wasn't until my body completely started to shut down that I realized the toll it had taken on me. I was physically exhausted. My nervous system was frazzled, my digestion stopped working. No amount of nutrition, rest, or herbal remedies could bring me back to center because the cause wasn't physical, it was energetic. I had been leaking light for too long, giving it to someone who couldn't generate their own, someone who fed off my radiance, who shaped themselves around my power and then resented me for it. I now see that relationship as a sacred mirror, a karmic contract that I just outgrew. But at the time, I was drowning in confusion. I had the spiritual tools, but I wasn't using them for myself. I was using them to try to fix the situation, to justify staying, to spiritualize the abuse and make it mean something noble. But now I know it didn't have to mean anything. Pain isn't holy and endurance isn't a badge of spiritual honor. The lesson wasn't in the actual suffering, the lesson was in the leaving, in reclaiming my energy, in remembering who I am at a soul level. Here's what I've integrated since then. Here's the soul wisdom I want to offer you today. Your body is your loudest spirit guide. When I was ignoring the voice of my inner being, my star family, and my guides, my body was speaking to me through fatigue, through tension, through that deep ache in my gut that no food could fix. Our bodies store trauma, yes, but they also store truth. And if we learn to listen, they will always guide us home. If we don't listen at all, our bodies get louder and louder and louder. Spiritual abusers do disguise themselves in loving spiritual language, which I want you to be aware of. They'll use words like projection, mirror, or soul contract to make you feel like you're trapped in this relationship, and this makes you question your clarity and decision-making skills. They will also say maybe you need to work on that, while they do no work at all, expecting you to take the responsibility to change and fix things so that they feel better in the relationship. They'll call your intuitive boundary a control issue. And here's the truth, your intuition is not up for debate. It's something, if something feels off, it is. If your nervous system is shutting down, believe it, trust it. Even if they're quoting Eckhart Tolle or channeling the Pleiadians, anyone who disempowers you is not in alignment. You're not broken because you didn't leave sooner either. I used to wonder, how did I let this happen? Why didn't I act earlier? But now I understand that all things just unfold in divine timing. I had to overcome the fear of cutting ties that I knew no longer served me, but I was just so familiar with and comfortable with. Sometimes we need to feel that contrast, the total misalignment, so we can deeply understand what true connection really feels like. My boundaries now are stronger, clearer, and more loving because of that experience. You don't need to suffer to be spiritual. There's this deep-rooted belief in the collective consciousness that only through pain can we awaken, and that trauma is our ticket to transformation. But I reject that narrative, even with what I've been through. As many of us have walked through a fire, and yes, we've found strength on the other side, but your expansion, your soul's evolution is not dependent on how much you've survived. You are worthy of joy, healing, and success right now without bleeding for it. You don't have to earn your light through suffering either. The deeper truth I now embody is this. Because of the past version of me, the one who stayed too long, who tried to fix what wasn't hers to fix, who gave until almost nothing left, I can now hold others through their healing from a place of genuine compassion, Not pity, not hierarchy, but soul level remembrance. My spiritual gifts expanded back to me once I left that relationship. My channel cleared. I could hear my guides again and was also confident to act on their guidance. I could feel my star family surrounding me, giving me strength. My heart, once heavy, began to open and feel lighter. And the part of me that had been silent finally began to receive. That's the other message I want to share today. There is part of you, your inner listener, who is always tuned into higher guidance, your higher self, your spirit team, the angelic realms, the ascended masters, your star lineage. They're all gently waiting for you to soften enough to receive. But in survival mode, that part of us closes off. And when we're hyper-vigilant, people-pleasing, consistently scanning for threats or fighting to stay nice so we don't upset anyone, we block that channel. We become transmuters of light for others, but we forget how to receive for ourselves. So today I invite you to soften, to come back into the open channel of your heart, to remember that the more you receive, the more you can serve, not the other way around. Your healing expands your gifts. Your joy is your permission slip, and your light, your true light, is not born from pain. It's born from presence, awareness, love, and connection. Here's a transmission I wrote this week during integration that I'll leave with you. Your soul does not require collapse to remember. Your light lives in your remembrance, not your suffering. So if this touched something within you, if you've walked through something similar, please let me know in the comments or share this with a soul who might need it. You're so deeply seen, you're divinely supported, and so endlessly worthy of joy. Until next time, take care of your light. Bye for now.